Hi everybody, so today I would like to channel for you. My sister is busy today, so it will just be me. I am going to channel the Ra Collective as well as most likely the Arcturians to get some different perspectives on wellness. It's follow up from my other video that I channeled the Ra Collective. I will be answering Evan Forsell's questions, which he left on that video, as well as just some clarification and follow-up questions about wellness and food. To begin, I do want to just say that the Ra Collective is a group consciousness, basically a neutral force that is oneness. So their view is going to be of the highest, most neutral perspective. So to clarify, it's going to be very, very challenging possibly to give up all microwave food, all cooked food, and things like that. And that actually may not be the best route for you at this time. So they are talking about the highest form, the highest wellness. And we may not be at that level yet. We may need to take steps to get to that. So when they give certain advice, certain answers, it is only because that is the most loving and objective answer. So for instance, I have been guided to actually drink coffee at this time. I tried to give it up and I did not feel very well. And I actually think that my vibration is much higher when I do drink coffee. So it is a very personalized thing. I actually channeled Archangel Michael, who guided me to keep drinking coffee at this time. However, that is a very personal choice of mine, and it may not be what is the highest answer. At this time, I'm not ready to give up all my heated food. But, however, I am realizing that I am feeling more willing to give it up and to eat more raw fruits and vegetables and to incorporate that into my daily life, as well as I feel guided to take a few days and eat nothing but raw fruits and vegetables that have been uncooked. So it is a process. And so just to clarify that we are not being asked to just give up all of our food and to only eat, what I'm getting is just love light, and to possibly eat just raw fruits and vegetables. So it may take some time to build up to that. Also, I know that the most loving thing that we can do is to give up meat, but some people need that at the level that they're at to still have that protein available to them. So I just want to honor that everybody has a personal journey, and it doesn't mean that you are doing the wrong thing if you are not following this advice. And I also, just a side note, this is just information that I'm channeling, and it is, use your own personal discernment, as well as I just want to say that I'm not giving medical advice. This is not medical advice at all or anything of that nature. This is only guidance that I am receiving, and take it for what you will. And so that is what it is. Okay. So today we will be getting into a follow-up and just some more clarification about our health and wellness and what we can do to build up our love light energy, accelerate our ascension process here. So before we begin, just a reminder that I do personal channeling, and that is offered on my website, ascendedcreation.com. And Adriana, my sister, is doing spiritual coaching on there, transformational coaching specifically. I also offer Reiki and or hypnosis on there, as well as I am currently offering channeling coaching if you are interested in learning how to coach. I am in the process of also writing a book on that as well. If you don't plan on getting coaching personally from me, you can read my book once it's finished. All right, so let's get into this with Evan's questions. So to start off with, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in the Arcturians, and I'm just going to ask a question here about... It occurred to me that I think I know the answer here in reference to this whole, do we change our entire diet to totally eat the fruits and vegetables that are raw, or do we give up coffee, things like this. It occurred to me that possibly we may not be able to do that because of our body. And our body needs to gradually go into a process of incorporating more love, light information. If we just totally give it up, it may be somewhat of a shock, or our body may not be able to function because our body is of this world, okay? So it may not be ready for that because we have information coming all the time of the light rays. The energy is coming in, but some people are not able to actually integrate with that. As in, some people can just totally absorb it. So I think really it depends on what level we're at. And I don't want to put it as in like, well, there's lesser people and there's higher people. It's not like that at all. I just think that the body and your body and the makeup may need different things than other people. So I just want to get a kind of a perspective on that. I'm going to bring in the Arcturians to just get some clarification on that, or a confirmation. Yes, that is correct. Your body holds a certain density. It is not that you necessarily are of that density, however, your body is of that density. And so it may take time to bring yourself into alignment with the things that you want to incorporate. For instance, if you want to give up coffee, it's not necessarily that you should, because your body is used to the coffee, and your body may actually use it in a certain way that is beneficial. Also, meat may be beneficial at this time. It is in the ultimate highest sense to give it up completely, but if your body is not ready to do so, that is very understandable. It may take some time. It may take some steps. It is best to gradually give up something and see how you feel. You may feel wrong and bad, and you may feel an illness if you suddenly give it up. If you do feel an illness, it is not time and you are not ready to integrate with that healing. You are not ready to integrate with that method of a personal choice. That personal choice may be actually someone else's choice and not what you are being guided to do at this time. We want you to understand that this is a personal choice when you feel called to do so. If you are doing it because you were told to, that may not necessarily be wrong, but it may be because you are told to do it, as in the coffee instance. When we are told to do something, we may hold a certain vibration about it in resistance to it. And so that is what we would recommend, is to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you feel like it is the right choice, or because someone is guiding you to do so? When you are guided with the guidance, then that is clarification. But if you feel a resistance to it, it is nothing more than actually holding you back and can be detrimental. As well as there are personal vibrations in the body that does use these things, this information, even though it is not of love light, to build upon itself, to use it. And that is a valid point that we want to make. All right, so the next question, and this comes from Evan Forsell. Are humans moving toward a more breatharian state overall through gradients such as vegan, raw vegan, liquidarian, and so on? Okay. So breatharian, I believe, means that you are living off air, as I have heard that some people are capable of doing that without actually eating food. There are some people who are able to live off light and water, and I believe actually light only. I think that's accurate. I think some people are able to live without water too, and just live off light. And okay, gradients such as vegan, raw vegan, liquidarian. So yeah, I think he's referencing that it's probably a process building up to the breatharian state. So let's check in. I'm actually going to channel the Ra and see what they have to say here and get our answer. Yes, we are the ones that you would call the Ra. We would like to inform you that this question is a very valid question. It is in your database. It is in your reference point to understand this question. We would like to say that the breatharian is much attuned to your lifespan. Your lifespan will actually prolong once you incorporate this into your field, into your understanding. Your breatharian lifestyle is the most accurate and attuned to your energy. It is the highest form that you can represent into your life. It is a process, as you have stated before. The vegan lifestyle is the most accurate on your lifespan currently. I would say that the planet is incorporating more of a vegetarian lifespan, and then the vegan of the love light next level, and then the raw vegan, and then the liquidarian we actually would say is not a valid point here, because we have stated that liquid is actually a form of density, and that you take something solid and form it into liquid. We would say that you obtain more nutrients from non-liquidizing your food. You incorporate more love light energy when it is in the purest and most accurate form. And it is in a state of misinterpretation once you break it down. It is of a higher vibration when you eat it raw, when you eat it without breaking it down. So we would say that no, we would not incorporate the liquid diet. We would say that the most accurate would be to say that you would go from vegetarian to vegan and raw vegan and then breatharian. Although breatharian is usually incorporation of multiple levels in which you would first give up anything that is of a dense food. You would first give it up and then incorporate less food and more love lights in the form of water and breath and your love light of the sun. You would go into a process with this, incorporating more and more love lights. We never ever said that you should give up everything completely at this time. We do not want people to misperceive this and to see this in its purest form. We want to say that eating raw food is the highest vibration possible, but we do not at this time condone for people to give up all their foods and only eat this at this time, for it may shock the individuals and they may see it as a fear-based system, and we do not wish that. It is best for you to do this in certain integrations, certain levels, certain processes. So for instance, you may take a few days and eat nothing but raw foods, and then do this more often and more often, eating more and more. We do think that that is the best answer. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Evan, by the way, for all your questions. These are great questions. So the next question that was asked is, how bad is cooking and the methods of cooking? That is actually a really great question here. He does say, I feel like I need to do it sometimes, with cooking, I believe. And then eating raw, I feel very tired and even weak and drained, even though I feel lighter mentally and spiritually. I've considered fasting more, but that can become a struggle too when forced. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm getting to, is that, you know, if we're feeling like it's forced and we're feeling actually tired, that's my story with coffee. I am trying to, what I was guided with the coffee, by the way, side note, is that where we obtain the source of our food is very, very important. Okay, so that is all. So organic, love light sources, less processed. So I started buying the organic coffee that is fair trade. And so I think it really depends on where we're getting it too. I mean, we could have a whole bunch of pesticides in our food as well, you know, that's fresh food. So it really does depend on the energy. And also we do want to do some Reiki over our food to clear it. So I think that that's really good. But okay, getting back on track. So how bad is cooking and the methods of cooking? Yeah, and then if we're feeling tired and drained, our body actually is probably going through a purge, and our body may actually not be functioning in the best of its ability when we do these kind of things, although mentally and spiritually it might be beneficial. Yeah, let's get some clarification on that too. You know, what does that mean if our body's feeling off, but yet we do feel better mentally and spiritually? So we get to continue to do it then, even though our body feels like sick, you know? So let's see here. Yet again, I will be channeling the Ra Collective for this. Yes, we are the Ra Collective, and we would like to answer this question. It is a very good question, and we would say that cooking is a detriment in that it does take away the energy within the food. It is like taking a certain energy and then lessening the energy and depleting it. We think that it is best to eat the love light energy, which we would call Ra, and the love light energy, which we would call the organic, because it is the less tampered with. The most pure food is the one that is in the purest form. Cooking your food is not bad per se, but it does involve a certain level of depletion. It takes away the nutrients which you may need, and that is why they are so replacing all foods into the dense form of cooking, and that it is such a high percentage of what you eat, is that the lifestyle which you have been presented with is not into your benefit. The forces against you, which would enslave you, would like to replace all food into this form, as well as your forms of restaurants and certain people who would take on this food to cook this food for you. For many do not actually cook for themselves, and they also would replace your food with frozen food and food that you would nuke in the microwave. Microwave is a very high form of density. It is of the highest detriment to you if you were to eat the food within the microwave, for it does replace all light within it. It takes the light and replaces it with darkness, if you will, for the microwaves itself are detrimental. They take away the goodness within all food. It is very, very dark and would actually kill you if you ate all things from the microwave. It is a form of killing you. It does cause certain cancers and certain illnesses within your body. We would like to replace all food without using the microwave. It is very dense and very finding yourself in illness. We would like to replace all food with the love light that it is. Healing yourself now, you have answered this question. Do not eat from the microwave. It is in a stage that we would say anybody could give up food from the microwave. It is as simple as using your oven or your stove or other means of cooking. We would like to say that the microwave is of the utmost unclean. Also, to answer this question of when to give up certain foods and how your body feels does depend on how you find yourself. Your body has been unclean for a while. It will take some time, and this may have certain side effects. If you are feeling ill from giving up a certain substance, it is because your body has been incorporating that food and has been in a state of agreement with it. When you have a state of agreement, it will take a while for you to undo that agreement. This is true for any addiction, and if your body does feel this way, it is a form of addiction. It is a part of this process. We would say it is okay, but we would like to inform you that it is a process and to go slow. If your body starts to feel dense, if it starts to feel off, if it starts to feel in illness because you are taking away a certain substance, I would say that it is not in your best interest to do so at this time. Take it slowly. Maybe incorporate certain energies into your diet. Maybe incorporate a certain love light frequency into your diet. Do not take away something at this time. Maybe incorporate something at this time and then take it away, for that would be maybe the best answer at this time. So in your daily life, it may be best to take away your microwave food, of course, but we would say do not take away certain cooked foods. Cooking is in your health benefit at this time if your body feels off without it. So instead, take away certain parts of your diet and then incorporate new forms into your diet. Eating lighter foods, eating more raw foods on the side with your cooked food. This would be maybe the best answer for you at this stage in your development. It is a development, and we see it as a development as well as you should, in that you are building your stamina, you're building your muscle at this time, seeing it more of the love light as you move forward, moving up on the ladder, as you do not need to build your muscle all at once. You take on certain levels, certain weights, if you will, as you build your stamina. And that would be our answer. Okay, thank you. Okay, Evan says he's curious about detoxification, what things we would benefit from clearing from the body, and how that can be done if necessary. Well, first off, microwave food. I think they're pretty clear on, anybody, no matter what, should not be cooking their food in the microwave. I know I don't think I've used the microwave in a very long time since I've heard that channeling. I don't think I've used it at all. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. I've been trying to use other methods. Okay, so detoxification. What else can they tell us about clearing the body? Okay. Yes, we are the Raw Collective, and we would say that life on your planet is in a process of detoxification. Anyone who is in the know and does understand these concepts, these topics that we speak of, are in a state of detoxification. You are detoxing yourself from all density. That is the most important thing to understand, that even food can be a form of detoxification, but also what you feel, how you feel, and what you think, and the things that you incorporate into your day. You are in a state of detoxification. You are in a state of lightening yourself into holding more love, light, vibrational information into your body and into your form and into your mind and into your spirit as you build and merge within your spirit. We would like to clarify that even if you are not detoxifying your food, you may be detoxifying yourself in other methods and other forms and other love, light, informational aspects. So, to answer this question, we will answer it in the purest sense that your body is detoxificating even if you do not bring into new foods, and that the light from the sun is coming in. We are sending you love, light, for you are building your stamina, you are building your growth, you are building your forms of communication. You are building yourself. There may be different forms to do this. To answer this question, for I think that it was asked for the body. How can you detox the body? One way is to go out into the sun and to soak up the sun more often. Do not bring yourself into fear that the sun is detrimental, that the sun will build illness. It will build illness only if you stay out there for a very long time. Go out there and bring in the sun into your body. Breathe it in and know that it is a form of infinite love energy. It is healing your body as you bring yourself into its awareness and build this into your day. Also, we would say it is very important to do your exercise, for moving your body will expel certain toxins. Moving does complete yourself in a certain rhythm. It does build a new energy within you. It springs forth new energy within you as you bring in new energy through your movements. It is very important to not stay stagnant and to move on a daily basis. Breathing is a very, very powerful way to detoxify the body, for as you breathe, you will expel certain toxins and breathe into the love light. We would say that thoughts can be a form of detoxification as well, as you bring in new information and expel the old information, forming a new circuitry within your brain. And as you form a new connection within your heart, you are expelling certain ideas, and certain love light energy will then incorporate into your body and integrate into your body. This does not mean that food is not important. Food is very important, for it does help the body to form itself, to integrate new energies within the cells into your love light energy. However, there are multiple bodies which we speak of, for there is more than just the physical form. There's also the emotional form, the spiritual form, your mental body, your etheric body, as some will call it, your state of being, if you will. Your state of being is the most important thing. So whenever you eat, what matters most is how you feel about your food, more than the food itself. We would repeat, the way that you feel about your food is more important than the food itself, even if we say that you should not eat certain foods, and it is in your best interest to eat other foods. It is more important to identify what foods are a match to you vibrationally, a match to you with your energy, and the emotional state of your life at this time. Do not go against your form. Do not go against your state of awareness. Incorporate the food that is a vibrational match to you at this time. Understand the difference between the thoughts that have a certain vibration with them, telling you to eat certain foods, and the foods that are in your heart space. You understand the difference to match yourself to the foods that are in your best interest. All right, so I think, so first off, there's many different ways to detoxify, right? So detoxing through the sun, detoxing through breath. I think water's even detoxing. They didn't mention that, but I would say that that's detoxing too. Adding more water and drinking less other fluids. Exercise, they said. Okay, and then they were talking about knowing the difference between, an ego food, a food that we want to eat because of the ego, and then a food that we're actually being directed to being called to eat from an authentic spiritual place. And I think that is actually kind of where I was going with the coffee, is that sometimes we will give up coffee and it's actually an ego thing. I was giving up coffee because I was listening to another spiritual person who is saying coffee is bad, give it up, right? But that can actually be an ego reason to give it up. I'm being told to. I should, Is it actually my intuition is telling me to give it up, which my intuition is telling me to actually take a few days and actually just eat like fruits and vegetables. I've been really, really wanting like just fruits, just like strawberries and blueberries and oranges and things like that. That's what I'm being called to do. Bananas. Sounds so good. I really, even more than like vegetables. So like that is something, you know, and that's not coming from my thoughts. It's coming from like an energy knowing place. So how do we know the difference? I'm actually going to call in Arcturians to get some just some answers on, you know, how can we know what we should be eating and what we shouldn't. Like, how do we know what's ego and how do we know what's like food that we are being called to eat at this time? Yes, we are the ones that you would call the 9, and we have been guided here. That is why your energy is so incorporated with us, because we have an agreement in which your Ra collective is very advanced. It has a certain agreement that you are not meant to be with at this time. So this is sort of understanding what is right for you at this time. Their source is of a high vibration that you are not a match with. And that is why you are called to us at this time, for we have a contract within each other. Let me be clear, that does not mean that you do not need the Ra collective. It just means that you are not called to the Ra collective. There's a difference. Yes, this means that you can call upon them for answers, but it is not necessary. But we have a contract of agreement, meaning that we would be offering more information that is useful for you at this time, this place, and this state of being that you are at. Now, to answer your question about when to know the difference between the food that you eat, which foods are detrimental and which foods are of the love light energy, and the foods that would be in your best interests. Oftentimes you may get confused about which foods are right for you at this time. For you may be told to eat certain foods. That does not mean that you are supposed to eat those foods. It depends on your energy. How do you feel when you eat those foods? That is the most important. How does your body feel? If your energy feels lighter, then that is a food that you are feeling called to. It is important to understand the difference, for you may think of a food and say this tastes good, and you may feel like you want it, but that desire that you have may be coming from a place of understanding, a certain idea that you have, instead of your body's actual recognition of needing that food. So when you do eat a certain food, ask yourself how you feel to know the difference. You may also understand certain foods by placing them within your heart. Put the idea of the food in your heart and see what your heart says. How does your heart feel when you put that food in your body? You can go into the grocery store and simply take up a certain food and ask yourself vibrationally, does this match with me? You will instantly know the difference between a food that is not meant for you and a food that is. It is how you feel. As we speak these words, I think you are understanding the difference between a food that is dense and a food that is light. For you are imagining a banana, which feels very like you. And then you are imagining chips that feel very dark and dense, and you are very in this understanding that they would not be into your benefit, even though you can taste them and understand that they feel good in that way. But that means that they are not right for you at this time. Ask yourself which foods are in your heart and which foods are not, and you will be feeling better. You will understand the difference for which foods are right for you and which foods are not. There are certain foods even that you may say are not good for you, but they are meant for you at this time. For instance, you are bringing up a certain idea of ice cream. And you are asking yourself, why do I feel like ice cream would not be a bad choice at this time? It is because that information may be actually to your benefit. For there are foods that even have sugar within them that may be in your best interest at this time. It depends on the love light energy and the incorporation of that food. There is something within ice cream that you require. It may be that you require the information that is in an ice cream. Something within it has a calling to you and would be in your best interest. This is the difference between something that is of love light and something that is not. So to simply say this is bad and this is good, it's not that clear. And so you would be in your best interest to ask yourself, no one else but yourself, to ask which is good food and which is bad food for the love light within me. Yes, you're also calling up eggs and saying, no, that does not feel right for me at this time. How different, for you are understanding the difference now as we speak. This would be also why you are being called to give up certain grains, certain breads, in which they are not necessarily bad or evil, but not something that would be a vibrational match to your energy. This can be done even if you do not have a food. You can bring it up in your mind and visualize it to know the difference. See which foods you would be likely to eat and which foods you would not, given the answers that you receive. This could be how you create your grocery list, if you will, and to understand what you should eat and what you should not in your certain understanding. Meaning that if you don't want to eat bread at this time, it may not mean that you will never eat bread again. It is good to be flexible and to understand that this is a process. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so next question we have here from Evan. What are the benefits or drawbacks of urine therapy? So I did look this up because I just want to make sure that I was clear with the understanding of urine therapy. So yes, it is drinking urine, but it also could be putting urine on your face or certain parts of your body and things like that, in your hair, and supposedly it could have certain medicinal properties. Let me ask the Raw Collective about this, because let us get the highest actually answer for this. Yes, we are the Raw Collective, and we would say that this is not the best. For when you incorporate something that you have expelled from your body, there is a reason why your body expelled it. There is a reason why these certain toxins are not to your benefit. It would not be good to incorporate that into your body again, for you have given yourself a reason for this. But there is no reason to drink it. There's no reason to bring it into your body again, for that is a form of toxicity, for you have expelled toxins. To bring it onto your body may be a benefit depending on how it is used. it could be used to your benefit depending on where you place it. For instance, if you place it on your head, it may have a certain nutrients for your scalp to give it a certain nutrient that your scalp does not have. There are certain areas of the body where it may be good to place it on, such as your head. Now, we do not condone taking in urine. We do not say that that is the best answer for you, or even the best answer for your scalp. But there could be some nutrient within it that does replace a nutrient that is not there as an absent, and you would need it there. But the best answer we would say is that that is not the best and the highest route to take. There's most likely another route, in that you may not even need a substance. For all things are a creation. All things are a manifestation. And if you need growth within your head, if you need your hair, you do not need a substance. For any substance, it's yet again a form of nutrient. You can bring those nutrients into your body by simply calling them into your body. For all things are an illusion, if you will, and all things can be shaped from you. You do not need an external force, an external object to bring that onto your body. Even healing is a certain energy and can be called on and into you. You do not need to bring an external substance, for that may help, but you do not need it. All form is from you. All form is a reflection of you. Find the answer within you. Find the healing within you. Find the nutrients within you, and you will not need an external force at all. Makes sense. And the next question. Does consuming plant foods throughout the day have a negative impact on digestion and well-being and love light? Does it have a negative impact? I think I did reference my grandmother was having difficulty with digestion, and she was having trouble eating plant foods. I think their answer at that time was that it wasn't a vibrational match to my grandmother, and so plants may not, yet again, this is, talking about how there's certain foods that are vibrational match to you and others that are not. And so, unfortunately, my grandmother, she's not at that place where plants are actually, raw foods are good for her body because of the density of her body. That's what I believe that they stated last time. But let's see what they have to say. At least the way that this question is stated, it says, I would like to know, does consuming plant foods throughout the day have a negative impact on the digestion and well-being and love light? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm just being called because I'm like, who do I channel? I'm calling in the Arcturians to answer this one. Okay, what I'm getting is health does not matter. Okay, let's get to this. So they're giving me answers here and not one, I say, I want to be clear, health does not matter. they're sending me some energy here. They just want me to integrate with it. Alright, yes, we are the 9, and we would like to share with you that health does not matter. Let's be clear. If you are sick, it is in your best interest not to identify with the sickness. It is in your best interest not to attach yourself to certain information. If it is detrimental, it is best not to align with that. It is best not to align with a body that is not helping you. If you are having difficulty with your digestion and you are finding it difficult to vibrationally attach to certain foods that are in your benefit, we would say that you should take it slow. For instance, if someone does have difficulty digesting raw vitamins, vegetables, and of the fruit variety, it is best for you to take it slow. Your body's not used to it. Your body's not a vibrational match to it yet. But you can take a turn for the better in which you can incorporate more and more so that your body gets used to it. When you're ready, you would do this. It would be something that you would be called to do. When we say that fruit and vegetables do not necessarily match with your body, it may be that your body is trying to reduce the love light. Your body could actually be trying to actually heal in a different way. It would be trying to give yourself methods that it feels are beneficial. But the body may not actually be attached to healing. It may be attached to other methods. It actually may have false information within it. It may have been told to do certain things that is not in your best interest because of false information from the false light information. It may actually have a story attached to it. It may actually be that there are certain cells that are actually not working in your favor. It may be that there have been lies told to it, and so you're going to have to reshape it. You're going to have to build it. So the light needs to win. So in a way, you need to hold on to the light. You need to understand the light. You need to build a certain tolerance to foods. So what we are saying is that what you would do is you would incorporate more and more love light into your foods. So to begin, possibly just take the foods that you are already eating and place love light within them. See them as beneficial. See them as energy sources. Bring your hands over the food and pray over them. Bring the love light into the foods you are already incorporating, whatever that would be. And once you become a vibrational match to the foods you are already eating, then you can bring in more and more of the love light, more and more of the plants and the fruits and the raw variety. And so that would be what would be in your best interest at this time. And if you are having digestion problems, do not identify with the digestive issues. Bring your love light into your body. Build up your tolerance. Bring up your tolerance for it. So you would incorporate your methods into your body by Reiki, bringing more energy, more love light into the body. Once you do that, they will become more of a match to the foods that you are eating. If you are having difficulty digesting, this is the best answer that we can give. You would just level up your body. Level up your body first, and then you will have no difficulty. And also trust that these foods will be incorporated in your body. That is a form of love light as well, building up the way that you are thinking, building up the way that you're feeling. asking yourself why you are having difficulty with this is also important. Why? If you ask yourself intuitively, why am I having digestive issues? You may get an answer. All right. Okay, and Evan asks, are we meant to live in the tropics where fruits and plants grow abundantly year-round and not a northern climate where we generally have to cook our food to survive and derive calories, energy from nature during the colder months of the year? I do agree with that, in that we used to need to, at least if we just think, scientifically, if we were in a colder climate, you would need more fat to keep warm. But I'm not sure about this now, because we do live with technology and in houses. We wouldn't necessarily, I think, need to have so much protein and calories and fat if we're living in this advanced technology where we have furnaces and warmth. I think that we could still, and we have the imports of fruit and vegetable from other countries. So I'm not sure if I agree with this, but we'll see what they say. I'm not sure if we would necessarily need to live in the tropics, although I do think that would be probably the healthiest, wouldn't it? Because it would be local foods, and local is probably the best, the less tampered with, right? So let's see though. Who should I channel? Okay. And I'm just getting intuitively to do the Arcturians. We would like to answer this to say that there is no reason to focus so much on food. All that we would like to say for this is that food does not matter as much as you would think. Food is very important, but vibrationally, you do not need food. Your body needs food, but your vibration doesn't need food. And that is why there are some people who have given up food entirely and have given themselves permission to drink water or to only breathe in the love light and to incorporate light into their body. In a way, they have become plants, as you might see it, but the love light does not need food. It is the body that needs food. For this, you may ask what certain foods your body needs. That is the most important thing. If your body would need foods that are in the tropics, might be best to live in the tropics. If your body is more used to foods that are in the certain climates that are colder, then it would be fine to live in the colder areas. I would say that food does not matter as much as you would take it to mean. Your body is the one that is your vessel at this time. It is how you move and how you gain experiences. For experiences are the most important. But we would say do not focus so heavily on food at this time. It does not matter as much as you would think. Building your tolerance to eat more loving foods is very important, but do not detriment yourself to have to do it. Do not see it as such a burden that you must do, because what that does is it actually makes you feel worse. If you are bringing into your body certain foods that you would feel is giving yourself a hatred towards it, or an aversion towards it, a resistance in which you are depriving yourself of something that you would rather be eating, it can be detrimental. It can be more forgiving to actually eat the things that you are craving. And that is important as well. Because if you are eating certain foods that you think that you should be eating, it can be creating karma in itself. Because you are then putting a certain law attached to it, a rule attached to it. I am only good when I do these things. I am only bad when I do these things. It is not that clear and not that simple. Do not attach a certain rule upon it, for then you can create karma that does not work for you. Forgiving yourself is the highest answer. Forgiving yourself and moving forward, no matter what you are doing in the physical, is the most important. Yeah, I understand that. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So my understanding of karma, gosh, I could really get into karma, but if we could be eating like really healthy foods and it would be good for our body. And it does, raise our vibration in a certain extent, because our body would be rising. Our body would be able to incorporate more light in it. But if we feel like angry or frustrated or irritated and things like that because of it, because we are really wanting the chocolate or something like that, it actually can be detrimental. And then, we're going to judge ourselves a lot if we take up the chocolate. Then we're like, I'm a bad person. I let myself down. That creates karma, because then you will then hold on to that idea I must now do something to make up for it. Now, I have to give up the chocolate. Now I have to totally only eat all this food. And then when we die, we're like, I did all the wrong things and I had to make up for it. And so what we're being called to do is actually to let go of karma completely. Okay? And it's actually most beneficial for us to let go of basically anything that we do here in this physical world. Okay? It's not really what we do, but how we do it. I keep getting that, okay? What is the meaning attached to it? What is the energy attached to it? And to also forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves. Because we're holding on to ideas, we're holding on to, we're creating this whole limitation for ourselves as well. Only these are what we should do, and only these are we're limiting ourselves, and we're actually holding ourselves back sometimes. So I totally get this about how food could actually, even when we're eating healthy foods, could actually be holding us back. Which could be part of the coffee issue, because I was actually irritable. I really want that coffee, and here I can't have it. I can't. It's like a rule, and here I am feeling actually worse. Okay? Yeah, because I was following kind of this whole I need to do this because I was told to do this. Which I still believe that coffee, it probably is in my best interest to give up coffee at some point. But right now there's something about coffee that I feel happier when I have coffee. I feel like I'm able to function and actually be there for people more, be there in my job more when I have coffee. And I'm only having 1 cup, you guys. Only 1 cup. Yeah, I'm getting there's like a story attached to it. So like I have a story attached to the coffee. There's something about coffee that's in my benefit at this time. I don't know, I'm being told it's like in my benefit. So it can actually hold us back if we do actually the opposite and just like totally redo our entire diet. Even though that might be the best for our body, or for our soul, but okay. I'm getting, it depends on the reasons behind it. It really depends on the reasons behind it. Yeah, where is it coming from? Okay, last question. Does the energy of those around me affect me more when I'm eating around them? That's an interesting question. So I'm a very sensitive person and very empathic. So other people's energies affect me. But this is interesting. When you're eating around somebody, does it affect you more? That's an interesting question. Okay, let's get an answer about this. And I'll just channel the Arcturians. It doesn't matter whether you are eating, it doesn't matter whether you are speaking, it doesn't matter where you are actually. You can be incorporating other people's energies even when you are at a distance, for space and time do not exist. You need to incorporate some boundaries and some limitations about where and what energy you take on. When you eat, you are taking that energy into your body, yes. But also keep in mind that it does not matter where you are. So, in a way, any idea of a person can be taken into you. If the other person speaks of you, thinks of you, places you within their own thoughts, you may actually entangle. There is a certain entanglement within this energy field that you exist in, this place that you exist in. The time and space with you does not matter as much. It is the energy behind it, and energies do merge and flow. And when we try and place ourselves within our energy only, that is important. For that means that your energies become your own. You become a master of your own energies. You may wish to merge your energy with others, and that is a choice. But it is very important to identify what energies are you and what energies are not you. All energies are you in a grand scheme of things. But there are some energies that are a match to you and some energies that are not a match to you. So to actually incorporate some limits to who and what actually merges with you would be in your best interest to take some time out of your day and shield and say, I would like to incorporate only love light into my life. To set some boundaries and to say that only love light may enter my life. Only those of my vibration and higher may enter my life. This would be the highest state that you could incorporate. To say only my energy and above may enter me. That would be the highest shielding that you could do. And build your tolerance yet again for this. for your energies are rising. And so to understand this in this way, when you're with others, it does not mean that they need to hold that vibration. It means that you would feel that vibration. So even those of a more denser shape and form could still communicate with you. It does not mean that you would then have only those that are of your energy, but more that you would incorporate only that which you are and above. It is important to set some limits. Okay. Yeah, I really like that clarification about shielding, and that I was really grasping. So let's say that you're of this energy to set like the boundaries and the limits of only taking in energy of your level or higher. And then if you're interacting with somebody of a denser, they can't come in. So to just set that intent in the morning and at night would be a good idea. Just imagining like a bubble around you, or love light pyramid around you, or just that intent. You don't even have to imagine, but it would be probably the best to place your attention in your heart and just ask for it. I do call on Archangel Michael to help me with my shields, and also for shielding my home and my car and garage. But I don't think that's necessary. I think we can just call upon our higher self to do that. And I like how simple that is. My shields have been so like, I'm shielding against this and this and this. I love how simple that is. Just with that intention. Anything that is not a vibrational match to me or above is not allowed to come in. I love that. I'm going to start doing that because I've been having this whole like lazy process. I'm shielding against archons, I'm shielding against reptilians, I'm shielding against contracts that are not in my benefit, I'm shielding against implants, I'm shielding against hooks and portals, and oh gosh, but I like this. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. Okay. I hope that this was helpful to add some clarification and some understanding about certain concepts about our health and wellness and our energy.